Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. I wanted to call your attention to a notification that appears on the Ada County website. It says here, State versus Brian C. Kohberger. This case is now closed. Request for sealed court documents. The court is in process of reviewing sealed orders and documents. This will be a lengthy process, and all unsealed documents will be released as they are approved. All unsealed documents will be placed on the Cases of Interest website. This is the website, ladies and gentlemen, where we have been provided with the public records that are not under seal in the matter styled as State of Idaho versus Brian C. Kohberger. There is also a case summary page that has been made available to the public. That is the document maintained by the clerk of court from the inception of the case through its now closure, that lists what I have called, in my opinion, that I give under the First Amendment, a virtual Mount Everest of documents that have been and remain under seal in the case, including evidence. It is only until one reviews the case summary page to see the large number of documents that have a lock and key icon next to their description as opposed to a PDF icon, the latter of which describes a public record, that one appreciates just how much information has been and continues to be withheld from the public in this case. Again, that's my pure opinion that I give pursuant to freedom of speech and of the press. Now, one document that does appear on the public record that the public has been provided with no further details is the matter of the document and records hold order that was issued by Judge Stephen J. Hippler back on May 15th, 2025, one to the state, one to the defense. If you read both of these documents, you will see the one to the state is a little bit more terse and it is a little longer. Both of them say, based on sensitive information not previously circulated that was reported during a recent Dateline TV program related to this case, and the defendant Brian Kohberger, it appears likely that someone currently or formerly associated with law enforcement or the prosecution team violated this court's non-dissemination order. Such violations not only undermine the rule of law, potentially by persons charged with upholding it, but also significantly impedes the ability to seat an impartial jury. An impartial jury is a requirement under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, which requires three things when a state is seeking to take someone's life, liberty, or property from them. Number one, notice. Number two, an opportunity to be heard. And number three, impartiality. These documents go on to say the court finds it imperative to attempt to see that the source of such a leak is identified and held to account, and that in doing so is the best determinant to future violations. Accordingly, the court finds it appropriate to exercise its discretion by entering the order. And I do recommend that you look at those two orders. The court did go on and talk about an investigation, and there was nothing that the court ever issued in the case to the public that gave notification of any investigation, the status of any investigation through the time of the court's closure. So I'm hopeful that at some point the public will learn what happened relative to this quote-unquote leak that resulted in the dissemination of what appears to be highly sensitive information that has been withheld from the public in the official court records. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone. Thank you for joining us here today.